great to see this 5-year-old back in winning form tonight.
Yeah, that's right. That was a good run in that time. It's quite blowy down the back straight, so he did a super job.
Tell us the difference between perhaps last week's run, where he perhaps just seemed to, from trackside anyway, just dying his run a little bit and got swept up, whereas tonight he's charged home ideal conditions, 153.5.
Yeah, look, I drove him just in the one trial here prior to his first run back, and going into that run, Clayton said he'll definitely need the run. He got a little bit tightened out of the gate, so he sort of lost his position early there, and then lobbed 1-1 and sort of hit the front, and he just got a little bit tired, but we kind of expected that, so he's taken a lot out of that run to the run tonight.
What were your thoughts on the line? Did you think it got up?
Yeah, I believe so. He fought back when he was catching Keating Levana, and yeah, he just stuck his nose out and he felt real good to the line.
It was always going to be a little bit tricky from that wide gate, and he showed speed, but you just had to settle for sitting outside the leader. But he settles pretty well, and he's shown over the journey, as he's got more races under his belt, that he's pretty tough. And he wasn't too fazed by that early work, obviously.
No, he's first up for a little break, so I was trying to give him an easy enough run as possible, and when Jason came out on the bell lap and put the foot down, I was a bit concerned because we wanted to go a bit quicker than I wanted. So I just ran my own race and let him settle, and yeah, and when the time came for him to do the most work, he knuckled down and did it.
Greg, another tight one. Thoughts on the line?
Yeah, look, 10 from the line, I thought, yeah, I got him covered, and right on the line, I really wasn't sure. Sort of probably drifted up the track a little bit, and Chris went to the inside, so there was a fair gap in between us, and had probably come to the end of our run right on the line too. So no, I wasn't confident crossing the line that I had held on.
I reckon about 4 minutes earlier you weren't confident at all because you were way off the back. Tell us in that, fortunately, there was a false start.
Yeah, luck's a fortune sometimes, isn't it? Sometimes these things work for you and sometimes they work against you. And yeah, he's a funny sort of horse. He's obviously got a few behavioural issues along the way. And yeah, first time sitting behind him, it was probably a good thing having that false start and the experience. And I changed the way I approached the gate second time round, and yeah, he was much better because of it.
Must be just a thrill just to get on board this bloke.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. He's as you said, he's a class horse, and you know, he's pretty lazy though. Sitting behind him, you'd think he wasn't actually as good as he was. He didn't really pick up the bit much during the run, and only when I woke him up, sort of at the bell, he was awake and picked it up. But you know, he's a class horse, and he's just too good for him.
Yeah, so what sort of feel did he give you before the race? Just lay back and I'll do the business when I need to?
Yeah. Clayton said he'd be like that, and he was spot on. You know, he just warmed up off the bit, jogged around with Ride High and that, and you know, didn't rely him much at all. So yeah, no, he's a good horse.
A running double for Clayton Tonkin and Emma Stewart. You've got the opportunities tonight for the stable. You've grabbed it, and Struve, well, very impressive.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. You know, he's a nice horse, as Dan was saying. He's got a good horse's record, and you know, he probably doesn't always do things right, but he did them all right tonight, and he was good enough to get home.
Barrier 6, but it looked like he did have the pace. The plan, by the look of it, was always to find the lead. Yeah,
I thought didn't really matter who lobbed in front. Our main dangers were off the back row, so you know, he was good enough to get there and relax from there on. And when I asked him to rev up, he revved up, and yeah, he did it pretty cruisy.
27.7, 27.8 the last half, and 156.9, and he just had the rest off the bit, probably, well, 400 out.
Yeah. You know, when you're making going that quick, it's hard for him to make ground from behind. So you know, he was able to hold that speed, and you know, he held that for a good 800. So you know, he's a nice horse.
What a run. You couldn't be more happy with the way he's returned tonight.
Yeah, he got a long way back, and obviously the speed on helped get into it because it's awfully hard from back there. But I'm very happy with him tonight, and he'll derive benefit from that run.
Yeah, when they come back after such a long break, you never can be 100% sure how they'll go in a race. But he's all class. He's got the class factor, and this augurs well for the future and some of the future races coming up.
Yeah, that's right, and his work at home has been terrific, and but tonight he felt like he still still will needed the run, and I think he will get a little bit fitter from that. And those fast horses, they do need to be super fit. It takes a lot out of them, when you sprint really hard, and I'm looking forward to the future. And he did everything right, so that's a bonus.
Relatively newcomer to the stable and second up tonight.
Yeah, it's good to get a win on the board with him, and he went good first up. Probably needed to run a little bit, and tonight, this first quarter was slow, but that sort of played into our hands well, and we were able to just probably control the race from then, and he was too good.
It must be a delight to get a horse of that quality come into the team.
Yeah, they don't come along very often, so it is a little bit encouraging and exciting, I guess, when you get offered one that can run and you don't have to buy it, source it and buy it yourself from New Zealand. But we're really grateful to Anthony for getting the horse to train, and hopefully we can get a few more wins on the board yet. The horse is a lovely horse, and I still probably think maybe can get him a little bit fitter yet, so hopefully that's the case, and we can just keep going forward.
Winning the last 3 races for the stable, and it's a great way to go home from Ballarat.
Yeah, it is. It's not often you get races run like the last one, and I'm sure they're exciting to watch when they do, and they're exciting when you're sitting back in the field too, and you think, oh, they're making this race playing into my hands, and that was the way it turned out. And yeah, it was good to finally win with Diamonds and Cash.
Yeah, it's a long time since he's won, but he's had a few issues.
He has. So he initially had a tendon issue, and then he come back from that after a long time off, and he had a breathing problem. So we got the breathing problem fixed, and this time in he's back to how he can run. And last prep he was very ordinary, and he basically just wasn't keeping up in any of the races he was in. And like I said, since the breathing off, he's worked up good, and it's obviously really fixed his issues, and fingers crossed we can keep moving forward.